Once you hear these, something inside you will shift. Not because the mistakes are shocking, but because you'll finally recognize the patterns you've been repeating your whole life, without even noticing. And from today forward, you won't be able to unsee them. Not in your behavior, not in her reactions, not in the way you show up as a man. These are the 9 mistakes smart men make with women, and the Stoic truth behind each one. If you stay until the end, you won't be the same man who started this video. Let's begin. 1. Explaining yourself too much. Smart men often confuse clarity with confession. They think being honest means explaining every delay, every thought, every emotion the moment it appears. But that isn't clarity. It's insecurity, wrapped in good manners. A Stoic man speaks once, not to impress, not to justify, not to prove he's harmless. He speaks because he has something worth saying. Calm, measured, grounded. A man whose words carry weight doesn't need to repeat them. When you over-explain, you reveal the truth you're trying to hide. I'm afraid you'll misjudge me. I need you to see me the right way. I need your approval. But the moment you seek approval, you lose presence. You lose certainty. You lose the quiet power that makes a man trustworthy. Because approval is something you earn through character, not something you chase with explanations. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than anyone. He said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That is the core of masculine stillness. If your actions are clean and your intentions are steady, you don't need to create long stories to justify them. The truth stands on its own. Say what must be said, once, with conviction, and walk away from the urge to elaborate. People respect the man who trusts his words because he trusts himself. The world listens more closely to the man who doesn't rush to explain, who doesn't tremble under misunderstanding, who doesn't bend his voice just to be accepted. Speak less, mean more. Let your actions prove what your explanations never could. 2. Chasing instead of leading. Chasing is not effort. Chasing is panic dressed up as action. It's the frantic sprint after someone who hasn't moved even an inch toward you. It's the silent whisper of insecurity echoing in every text you send, every call you make, every moment you wait for a reply that may never come. You can pursue. Pursuit is deliberate, intentional, measured. It's a man moving with direction, guided by purpose, aware of the energy he invests, and patient for it to return. Pursuit is maturity. Chasing, on the other hand, is chaos in motion. It's the behavior of a man untethered from himself, a man who mistakes movement for progress. A Stoic man is never untethered. He moves from intention, not fear, from confidence, not desperation. He understands that energy is a mirror. What you give is what comes back. And if the energy isn't mutual, he steps back, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with unshakable self-respect. He doesn't need to bend, to plead, or to contort himself to fit into someone else's rhythm. He knows the truth that most men refuse to see. What is meant to grow will grow naturally. It will thrive without force, without anxiety, without frantic attempts to pull it forward. Chasing is the opposite of this. Chasing distorts reality. It convinces you that your value depends on someone else's attention. It teaches you to settle for crumbs, while the feast of your potential waits elsewhere. A Stoic man lets things unfold. He invests only where there is balance, where there is reciprocity, where respect and presence meet naturally, Because true connection does not require persuasion. It does not beg. It does not chase. It arrives effortlessly, like a tide that returns without question. And the man who understands this, he never chases again. He preserves his energy. He protects his peace. He moves through the world with quiet authority, and in that stillness, he becomes magnetic. Not because he needs her, not because he fears loss, but because he knows his own worth. And here lies the paradox. The less you chase, the more you are sought. The less you panic, the more you are valued. The less you bend, the stronger your presence becomes. A man who chases is enslaved to desire. A man who pursues with stoic clarity is free. 3. Revealing too much too soon. Depth draws people in. It captivates. It commands attention without shouting. But oversharing is the silent killer of attraction. It turns curiosity into pressure, fascination into discomfort, and genuine interest into obligation. Many men make the mistake of thinking that opening up means laying bare every detail of their life within days. The first week becomes a flood of stories about childhood, past failures, dreams, fears, and unresolved emotions. They believe that revealing everything fast makes them relatable, trustworthy, or desirable. The opposite happens. They exhaust the space meant for connection. They turn intrigue into predictability, mystery into exhaustion. Intimacy is not a monologue. It is a dance, a rhythm, a carefully measured exchange. It is earned through patience, consistency, and presence, not rushed, not dumped, not demanded. A Stoic man understands this instinctively. He reveals himself slowly, with intention, with dignity. Every word, every story, every detail is placed like a brick in the foundation of trust and attraction. He does not pour out his soul in one sitting. He does not hand over his emotional power for validation. He allows others to earn their way into the inner chambers of his mind and heart. The less you reveal at once, the more your truth matters. The more deliberate your disclosures, the more weight they carry. People are drawn to what feels scarce, deliberate, and precious. Depth without pressure is magnetic. Depth with patience is irresistible. Mystery is not manipulation. It is not a game to control or confuse. Mystery is the reflection of self-respect. It signals that you value yourself enough to control what is shared and what is withheld. It says, without words, I am steady, I am whole, I am not yours to exhaust. A man who overshares gives away his power. A man who moves with measured revelation commands presence. He does not fear silence. He does not rush trust. He does not seek approval through confession. The world often mistakes openness for vulnerability, but real vulnerability is intentional. It is the courage to reveal only what matters, the strength to remain quiet when the noise tempts you, the wisdom to let curiosity build instead of fear forcing disclosure. When a Stoic man reveals himself deliberately, he sets a standard. He teaches others how to value him, and in doing so, he transforms ordinary interaction into something rare, memorable, and magnetic. Mystery is not a shield to hide behind. It is the armor of a man who knows his worth. It is the quiet power that says, I exist fully, I offer fully, but only to those who earn it. Depth is attractive. Mystery is magnetic. And patience, the patient reveal of truth, is the invisible force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. 4. Trying to fix her men with good hearts often fall into the same trap. They see struggle, pain, chaos, and their first instinct is to step in, to fix, to repair, to rescue. It feels noble. It feels necessary. It feels like love. But beneath the surface, it is often fear disguised as care. Fear of losing, fear of feeling powerless, fear of being irrelevant. The Stoics had it right. Focus on what you can control. You cannot carry the weight of someone else's journey. You cannot heal a soul that is not ready to be healed. You cannot straighten a path that she has not chosen to walk. Support is not the same as rescue. Listening is not the same as fixing. Being present is not the same as carrying the burden. You can offer steadiness, clarity, and calm. You can be a rock in the storm, but you cannot become the storm's architect. A man who tries to save someone who has not chosen to save herself loses himself in the process. He sacrifices his peace for someone else's chaos. He trades his purpose for a mirage of control. He gives away the power that is rightfully his. Stoicism teaches the subtle art of detachment, not indifference, not coldness, but discernment. The wisdom to know the difference between what is yours to carry and what is not. When a man steps in to heal what isn't his to heal, he invites imbalance, frustration, and eventual resentment. He becomes entangled in a web of emotional responsibility that was never his. Instead, a Stoic man remains grounded. He listens with intention. He offers support without expectation. He holds space without taking ownership. He allows her to navigate her own storms, because strength is not measured by how much you can carry for someone else. Strength is measured by how firmly you stand, how calmly you observe, and how intentionally you choose your involvement. A man who knows his boundaries and protects his energy creates an unshakable presence. He becomes magnetic, not because he tries to control, but because he honors himself and others equally. And the paradox is simple. The more you release the urge to rescue, the more respect and admiration you command. The more freedom you allow her, the more value she recognizes in your strength. Trying to save someone unwilling to be saved is not noble. It is self-destruction disguised as devotion. A Stoic man loves with intention, supports without surrender, and stands unwaveringly in his own life because he understands this eternal truth. You cannot walk her path for her, but you can walk yours flawlessly. And in walking your path, you become the kind of man others naturally gravitate toward. Strong, steady, untouchable, and real. 5. Neglecting your purpose. This is the quiet, invisible mistake that quietly destroys everything a man has built. You meet someone. There's a spark, a connection, a feeling that pulls at your attention. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, your world begins to shift. Your routines start to slip. The gym sessions you once never missed are skipped. Your business, your studies, your craft, the mission you built with sweat and discipline, loses momentum. The books you read, the ideas you chase, the work you put in with unwavering focus, it all starts to blur. It doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, gradual, insidious. Until one day, you realize you're no longer leading your life. You are bending it to fit someone else's presence, someone else's rhythm, someone else's energy. No woman respects a man who abandons his own life, not because she is cruel or unkind, but because she instinctively senses imbalance. She senses when a man's energy is no longer grounded in purpose. She senses when his inner fire dims, when his trajectory tilts, when he begins to orbit around her instead of moving forward. Respect, real, lasting respect, cannot survive in the shadow of neglecting your mission. Purpose is your anchor. Without it, you drift. Without it, distractions sweep you away. Without it, you are no longer a man with direction. You are a man at the mercy of circumstances, moods, and external validation. A Stoic man understands this with clarity. He knows that his life is sacred. His goals are non-negotiable. His mission is untouchable. He protects it with the same ferocity he protects his peace. He does not allow someone else's presence to weaken his resolve. He does not sacrifice his progress to chase approval, affection, or fleeting attention, because the man who preserves his purpose is untouchable. He is magnetic. He commands respect effortlessly. He moves through the world with clarity and stability. And when he shares his life with someone, he does so without compromise, without surrender, without distraction from his true path. The irony is profound. The more anchored you are in your mission, the more attractive you become, the more resilient, the more admired, the more grounded, the more powerful your presence. Purpose is not optional. It is the backbone of respect, the foundation of freedom, the gravity that keeps a man centered in a world of chaos. Lose it, and everything else falls. Protect it, and nothing, no opinion, no temptation, no distraction can shake you. A Stoic man lives by this truth. He does not abandon his mission for anyone, but when someone aligns with his path, he shares it fully, intentionally, and with depth. Because a man without purpose is invisible. A man with purpose is unforgettable. 6. Competing for her attention. When you scramble to outshine others, to compete for her attention, to prove your value with jokes, gestures, or forced charm, you are speaking a truth silently, a truth you may not even admit to yourself. I am afraid I am not enough. And yet, this fear is unnecessary, because here is the secret most men never learn. Presence always beats performance. Stillness always beats noise. Confidence always beats competition. A man who is grounded does not need to perform for approval. He does not inflate his actions or words to secure fleeting attention. He does not measure his worth by glances, smiles, or reactions. He moves through the world as a man who already knows his value. Let her interact freely. Let her laugh with others. Let her speak, joke, and float through life as she wishes. Because your worth does not shrink when her gaze drifts elsewhere. Her attention is not a prize to fight for. It is a reflection of your already established presence, not a currency you must earn through struggle or spectacle. Chasing validation signals weakness. Flinching at distraction signals insecurity. But the man who remains unshaken, who does not flinch, does not overcompensate, does not panic, has already claimed victory. Notice how the strongest men do not scream to be seen. They do not bend, twist, or compete for recognition. They simply exist, steady, calm, unwavering. And in that quiet power, others notice it is magnetic. It is undeniable. It is the kind of presence that draws respect, admiration, and attention without effort. The paradox is simple. The less you chase, the more you are sought. The less you perform, the more you are valued. The less you bend, the stronger your presence becomes. Do not mistake noise for influence. Do not mistake overcompensation for power. A man who commands without demand, who stands without flinching, who trusts in his own worth, is the man who cannot be shaken by distraction, moved by comparison, or diminished by fleeting attention. Your energy is finite. Your peace is precious. Do not squander either by competing for approval that was never yours to earn. Stand still. Observe. Respond only when necessary. Let the world reveal its layers. Let others chase shadows if they must. You, the grounded man, do not chase. You do not scramble. You do not bend. You lead with your presence, not your actions. You command with your stillness, not your noise. You win without needing to prove a thing because the man who does not flinch has already won. Not in the world's eyes, not in fleeting attention, but in the eyes of life itself. Calm, steady, unshakable, and fully in control. 7. Making her the source of your happiness. If your entire emotional world revolves around her, if your happiness rises and falls with her mood, if your peace depends on her presence, then you are building your life on sand. One gust, one shift, one absence, and everything collapses. Your emotions, your stability, your confidence, all unstable, all at the mercy of someone else. A Stoic man understands this clearly. He knows that real strength comes from within, not from another person's approval or attention. He cultivates inner stability through discipline, through purpose, through solitude, through peace. He builds routines that anchor him. He invests in goals that define him. He sharpens his mind, nurtures his body, and protects his space. Happiness is not borrowed. It cannot be lent or gifted. It is constructed, piece by piece, moment by moment, through deliberate choices and unwavering commitment to self-mastery. When you stop depending on someone to complete you, something extraordinary happens. You stop chasing. You stop performing. You stop bending your value to fit someone else's expectations, and in that freedom, you become magnetic, not desperate, not needy, not reactive, but irresistibly whole. A man who is whole does not flinch when her attention drifts. He does not panic when she laughs with others, talks to someone else, or spends time apart. He knows his worth is not dictated by validation, fleeting presence, or transient emotions. It is anchored in his own life, his own mission, his own purpose. Wholeness creates gravity. It draws people naturally, effortlessly, like metal pulled to a lodestone. It demands respect without demanding it. It commands presence without performance. It inspires desire without desperation. The irony of life is simple yet profound. The more self-sufficient you are emotionally, the more captivating you become. The more complete you are on your own, the more others are drawn to your energy. Dependence repels. Wholeness attracts. A Stoic man lives by this principle. He does not surrender his peace for someone else's comfort. He does not compromise his mission for someone else's presence. He does not let his value fluctuate based on someone else's perception. He builds his happiness from within. He invests in his own growth. He becomes unshakable, steady, undeniable. And in that presence, he becomes not just a man, but a force. When you stop building your world around someone else and start building it around yourself, you step into a power that is quiet, deep, and unyielding. You become the kind of man who does not need to chase. You become the kind of man who attracts naturally. You become the kind of man the world cannot ignore. Wholeness is not arrogance. It is self-respect. It is stability. It is the foundation from which true influence, true connection, and true attraction flow. And a man who stands whole and grounded, who builds happiness from within, never loses. He does not just exist. He commands. He draws. He lives. 8. Reacting emotionally to her tests. You will be tested. Not because women are difficult, not because life is out to challenge you, but because the world, and those around you, instinctively need to sense your strength, your stability, your presence. A sarcastic comment, a delayed reply, a subtle pullback, a moment of resistance. These are not attacks. They are signals. Signals of energy, signals of boundaries, signals meant to see if you are anchored or adrift. A Stoic man knows this. He breathes before he speaks. He observes before he reacts. He responds only with clarity, not chaos. He measures his words, his tone, his presence, because every reaction carries weight. Impulse is the enemy of respect. Reaction is the enemy of influence. Emotion, unchecked, becomes a leash that binds you to another's whims, to their tests, to their judgments. The man who cannot govern his own mind, his own body, his own emotions, cannot possibly guide himself through life, let alone guide a connection, a conversation, or a relationship. A Stoic man understands that tests are inevitable. They are natural. They are neutral. They are not personal attacks, and they are not reasons to panic. They are opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate composure. Opportunities to demonstrate self-mastery. Opportunities to show without words that your foundation is unshakable. When she tests, when she questions, when she pulls back, it is a chance for you to reveal the quiet power of restraint, to let your presence speak louder than your reactions, to show that your value does not fluctuate with the tides of her attention. A Stoic man remains still when the world pushes, pulls, or provokes. He does not snap. He does not overcompensate. He does not seek validation. He stands as he always has, centered, grounded, unmovable. This is the paradox of true strength. You cannot control others. You cannot dictate reactions. You cannot prevent tests. But you can control yourself, your words, your actions, your energy. And that control, that mastery, is what attracts respect, trust, and quiet admiration. It is what sets you apart from the men who flinch, who panic, who chase approval like a fading shadow. Remember this: a man who cannot control himself cannot lead himself. He cannot lead his life. He cannot command influence. And he certainly cannot navigate another's world with integrity. But the man who breathes, who observes, who responds intentionally, he becomes untouchable. He becomes magnetic. He becomes the kind of presence that tests, comments, and challenges cannot shake. Strength is silent. Power is calm. Respect is earned through composure, not chaos. And the man who masters himself, who meets tests with clarity and dignity, has already won. 9. Apologizing for your standards. Your standards are not demands. They are not arbitrary rules meant to control or limit others. They are reflections of your discipline, your self-respect, your inner peace, and the value you place on your own life. Never apologize for wanting loyalty. Never feel shame for expecting respect. Never question the desire for kindness, consistency, or stability. These are not too much. They are not unrealistic. They are the foundation. The bare minimum of what any person with integrity would bring into a meaningful connection. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He knows that life is a series of choices. He knows that attention is a currency. As Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." If you give your energy to chaos, drama, and inconsistency, you will become unanchored, restless, and reactive. But if you reserve your attention for alignment, for virtue, for presence, you cultivate strength, stability, and gravity. When someone cannot meet your standards, you do not react with desperation. You do not beg, plead, or negotiate your worth. You walk away, calmly, decisively, without a hint of bitterness, not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of alignment. Alignment is the quiet power of a Stoic man. It is the understanding that your peace and purpose are non-negotiable. It is the clarity to know that respect for yourself is the most sacred currency you possess. It is the realization that no person, however charming or enticing, has the right to diminish your value or demand your compromise. Respect, at its highest form, begins within. It is not granted by others. It is not conditional on circumstances. It is cultivated, protected, and unwavering. Standards are not limitations. They are your boundary lines drawn in the sand of your life. They define the shape of your world. They filter energy, intentions, and relationships so that only what resonates with your integrity is allowed inside. A man who honors his standards does not need to control others. He does not manipulate, coerce, or demand. He simply moves through life with clarity, intention, and quiet authority. And here is the profound truth. The more you honor your standards, the more you honor yourself, the more naturally respect, admiration, and loyalty gravitate toward you. Because people do not respond to weakness disguised as accommodation. They respond to strength grounded in self-worth. They respond to a presence that says, without words, "I know my value, I will not compromise it, and I will not chase approval." This is the paradox of human connection. When you refuse to lower your standards, when you refuse to settle for less than alignment, you do not repel. You attract. You do not isolate. You illuminate. The highest respect you will ever receive is the respect you give yourself. The man who understands this walks calmly, decisively, and unshakably through life, unmoved by opinion, unshaken by rejection, unbent by fleeting attention. He does not apologize for wanting the basics. He does not waver for anyone who cannot meet them. He does not negotiate his peace. He simply stands. He simply walks. And in that quiet strength, he becomes unstoppable. Because the man who honors his standards is not just respected, he is unforgettable. Now you know the 9 mistakes that smart men unknowingly make, and how a Stoic approach can help you rise above them. Remember, it's not about changing who you are. It's about protecting your purpose, mastering your emotions, and holding your standards. That's where true respect and attraction begin. If this video gave you clarity, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Silent Stoic for more content that strengthens your mind, sharpens your focus, and elevates your presence. And comment below. Which of these 9 mistakes surprised you the most? I'll be reading and responding to your thoughts personally. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay stoic. Stay